Hey everybody, good morning. It's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. We are in the 3.5 Monster Manual, and our entry today is the Phase Spider. I say today, but I'm off today, so I could do multiple entries. I don't know. But the Phase Spider. It is essentially a giant wolf spider that's blue, gray, and white with super silvery white eyes on top. Looks very cartoony. Alright, let's see what we can do. So I've got a spider body here. And I think what I want to start with is removing these limbs so that we can build a posture that's a little more interesting. Whoa, lost some legs. That's alright, we didn't want those anyways. I'm going to get a little knife. And I'm just going to kind of trim these sides up a little bit. And make those a little nicer. They're not ideal still, but it is what it is. Alright, let's look at the picture. Let's see those little front feelers there, what they're about. So he doesn't have those. He just has 1, 2, 3, 4. He just has 4 legs and no front feelers. So we're going to take those off. Okay. The other thing is, his snipper, or his fangs are kind of going down. So let's cut those off and make those going down. Alright, let's get a dibby dab of glue. It's very cold in here this morning, so my glue is not going to behave. Spider webs. Alright, those are crooked. Let's try that again. Much gooder. All right. Set that there for a moment. Now we need some little dots to be his eyes. And I have these little gem bead things from these paintings my wife and mom do. So what I think I'm going to do is just get a dab of glue and mount those as his big kind of eyes on top. That's a lot more glue than I wanted. That's okay. Oh. Up. Come on. All right, here. All right, hold on. Let's hope I can set this here to dry. There we go. All right. Good morning. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's look at the legs. I don't know if their legs are standard, like 3-part spider legs or something fancy. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they're like a standard 3-part spider leg. So I think the way to go is this is a size large, so we don't want to go overboard here. So let's just use a toothpick for each leg. Let's start about 1/3 of the way up the toothpick. Snap that down. And then that'll be where it mounts right there, so we'll cut that off. And then so that these are sturdy, get a little glue. Get it in there. And snip off this little sticking up piece. Something like that. We'll do a couple of those. Looks like we'll do about 8 of those. Let's set that one here so we can see what we're doing. So we're going to start about 1/3 of the way down, just like that. And then come up about just under 1/2 inch there. And then snip off what we don't need. I'm still standing, do do do, do 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 do. Mrs. Doom went off to her next day, or second day of her job. She seems to be in high spirits, though she was kind of tired yesterday. When she came home, that's okay. We all expected that if you haven't worked for quite a while, when you go back, it's probably a lot. So I'm not going to throw any fingers of judgment in her direction at the moment. Very good for your mental health to contribute to society and to be out in public and to be meeting new people and dealing with new people. Even if you do have some social anxiety problems and stuff, it's good to overcome that. I think yesterday I was speaking about anxiety. We should not view anxiety as a bad thing. It's natural. Even though some of us experience it at higher degrees than others, we should view it as a good thing. It's a defense mechanism to help you prepare to act. So when people are, there's a serious 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a serious stigma with it, and mental health professionals, they want you to pay for treatment. They want to be, what's the word I'm looking for? They want to be relevant. So they often amplify things that are normal in us that might be slightly elevated or different than what is considered the standard or the status quo for that condition. But what they don't do is tell you that it's normal to experience stuff. And maybe there's underlying issues that are creating this stimulation that you get in these situations, but it's not bad at all necessarily. Like, I think that often people associate anxiety and fear, but they're not the same thing. So fear is a natural response designed to protect you. Anxiety is a natural response that prepares you for the unknown, and that is not the same thing. A lot of people associate the two, though. They say, I'm afraid of going into public because I have anxiety. Okay, so your fear and your anxiety are not linked. Your anxiety is caused by your body's response from emotional, mental, or other triggers that you could sense a degree of uncomfortability, and so your body starts sending you signals to prepare for such an occasion. Fear is something that is often irrational, but it's a defense mechanism designed to keep you out of danger. So we need to make sure that people understand the differences. Okay. So my legs are a little bit long. This part, the spiky part at the end, is a little bit long. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to bend those out into like a foot, kind of. And I'm just going to strengthen up all my legs a little bit. Just with enough glue to kind of hold things to where they don't fall apart on me. Oh, no. There we go. I know that somebody's out there going, well, Doom, you're not a mental health professional. No, I'm not. I'm not anything professional. I'm a dude in my basement turning toys and garbage into more toys. And you're watching. So let's watch before we throw too much judgment around, folks. Just saying. Nice. I have done some work with the VA. I've done some work with dual diagnosis groups that focus on individuals with PTSD and dependency issues. Predominantly, it seems like alcohol is the go-to, but there are other issues, dependency issues that we see too. I haven't done this since pretty much COVID was kind of the end of a lot of the volunteer work I did. The irrational fear that people were espouting, the overreactions, the lack of data, and the decision-making processes within different organizations. Like I used to run an AA group at a prison, and a bunch of other stuff that just kind of, whenever COVID became like what it was, we were all unaware of what was happening. No one knew all the answers in the regular world, like people like me. I didn't know all the answers, and I didn't know what was going on exactly. But what I did know is that we were taking something to a level that there was no coming back from, and that we were making decisions out of fear. And I was not completely thrilled with that. My mother is susceptible to getting sick easily, and I was furious because they were telling us this would work, and I felt like some of them might have been decent precautionary measures, but some of it didn't even make sense to me. And like talking about different efficacies of techniques and stuff, I was very concerned that people weren't taking any of it seriously. Not saying that, it was all right in the end, but just like rationally, some of it was like, yeah, can you do this because I don't want my mom to die? And at the same time, I thought some of it was very overboard. So now we have a lot more data, and even though they don't talk about it, because no one wants to come back and say, oh, we didn't know what we were doing, we were wrong. But now that we have a lot more data out there, many people are still sticking to their guns about the initial things that we did as a nation, as a world, as individuals. And I think that our society in current times is, well, one, we're a society of instant gratification, which is kind of a dangerous concept. The problem with instant gratification is that there's no tolerance for moderation. We have to do this now. We can't stop. We have to do this. We have to do that. And I'm not saying that responding to a global pandemic is something you should take your time to try to figure out what to do. You should obviously start making some choices immediately. I'm not debating that. What I am debating is, in general, we just like instant gratification, and moderate solutions get left in the wayside because of that. You talk about the ecological crisis, the environmental crisis. Is it really a crisis? Well, that depends on how long you plan on living. But yes, we do have a serious impact on it in many ways. That's true. But we overreact in many ways, and overregulation and over-panicking and overstating what's going on is actually harmful to creating meaningful long-term solutions. Because what happens is we overregulate something and put people out of work and create a stigma around it, and instead of saying, how long do we have? What can we be doing? And, trying to fix it. We don't fix anymore. We just kind of, okay, my legs are still a little bit big coming out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work these all back. That joint there, back about it's about 1/8 of an inch. And that's going to suck him in almost 1/2 inch on the sides. A lot of people are talking about it, the border and economy and all this stuff, but I don't want to get political, and I don't know all the answers. Like I said, I'm a dude in my basement. I don't know everything, but I will tell you this: overstepping in one direction and then stepping back too far in another direction, or vice versa, is probably not the ideal way to handle a lot of these major issues that people are worried about. If we can explain to people that over a period of time we can make changes that have a meaningful impact and people can accept that, we could probably make better decisions. But right now, that's not even on the table as to how to handle stuff. There's no moderate response. It's just like, fix it now. Well, we could probably come up with a better solution and do it in steps than doing immediate things. But we're going to do immediate things because that's what people need relief now, or they want solutions now. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not saying it is, but it's probably not the best thing, if we're going to be honest. All right. Oops. Come on, get up there. A lot of spider webs. All right, let's look at our base. All right, we're going to need to bring those legs in some. Yeah. I know that you might find this hard to believe, but a lot of solutions to a lot of problems, we don't even need the government for. It's a lot of our problems stem from weird cultural rules that we've developed. For example, crime. Crime can be, you can start correcting crime in the household, in the home, by having conversations with your children about what's right and wrong, about parents staying together and trying to create an environment that's conducive to success. I know it's hard to stay together sometimes, and sacrifices are made that are, you think Mrs. Doom and I have it perfect? No. Good God, I'm an unholy mess and almost impossible to deal with. I mean, look at me. I sit in my basement as an adult male making toys. Do you think that's easy to deal with? Probably not as easy as I'd like it to feel. I'm just going to get a little dab of glue on the bottom of both of his feet to get him started. I'm just going to stick those back here on the corner of the base. Kind of let him cool for a second. Okay. I think the way to go is to connect his feet 2 at a time and then let the front ones float because I want them to be, you know. Okay. It's chilly down here. I'm wearing this hoodie that makes it kind of hard to hold on to shit. Okay. Let's see. I think that'll work. All right, cool. All right, let's get the next 2 down. And I think the way to go is going to be just to get a dab of glue and do 1 at a time on these to make sure that they're sturdy and good. Can't get a hold of my toothpick. Push it down, smear your glue around so it holds it. Dab a stupid glue. And sprinkle baking powder or baking soda. And then this one is naturally kind of sitting how I want it to. So I think we can just get that glue on there. Push that back a smidge. All right, we got a lot of spider webs. I'm gonna pull up my sleeves. Let's do some magic. The Minor Burning Hand spell is an amazing low-level spell. It's a cantrip, so until you just have no power left, you can just keep casting it. It doesn't require spell slots or anything. And it's probably perfect in this application, removing spider webs. In and out of game, it's a great cause for this. I have a couple more pieces of spider web I don't like. So now we need to sturdy up all the joints so this guy is in miniature and not just a piece of garbage sitting here. He looks a little bit cute. That's not what I wanted for. Oh, he's a cute little spider. Bite your gizzard right off, but cute as shit. So what I want to do is on these joints, I just want to bring some glue around to sturdy these up. And I don't want to go way past the joint on either side, but I do want to create enough surface to sturdy this up and make it solid. I'm just doing these ones first, and then I'm going to come back and do the other ones little by little. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, now we're going to do these. Starting to get sturdy. We're going to do these little joints in the front here. But before we do them, we want to make sure we snip off any funky spots we don't like that. And we're going to get that glue. Rub it around. Get it saturated on there. Not too much, though. We don't want to go overkill. Okay. And we'll sprinkle it in, just to sturdy those up. Okay. Now we need to make sure all these legs are staying on here and not moving. So we want to be very conservative with this. By the way, for those of you that are not familiar with this, conservative is not just a political word. I use conservative to mean we want to be careful and use very little. When I say liberal, I don't mean it in a political sense. I mean is just throw it on here, bunches of it. Somebody made a statement to me on Facebook about me saying being conservative or liberal, and I am not talking about politics, even though I was just kind of mentioning when I say moderation, I mean that again somewhere in the middle between those two. So crafting and politics must be heavily related according to this. I don't like going to crafting channels and getting lectures on if I should be on the left or the right. I think that crafting channels should make effing videos about crafting and let people decide for themselves. Just like how I think celebrities should stay out of it and let people decide for themselves. All right, I'm pretty happy with the phase spider at this point. Let's look at our reference art. Something like that. He didn't have two of those little things on his butt. Should we cut those off or leave them? Maybe we could just put one on his butt. That could be nice. We'll clean that butt right up. We'll put one gross butt poker on there. Like, oh, Shelob. Oh, Shelob. Oh, dear, Shelob. She loves to eat hobbits. Who doesn't love to eat hobbits? 4 of them. Just kind of rubbing that glue around. Make sure that it's not doing anything too fancy. All right, cool. All right, if you like what I'm doing here, hit like, subscribe, hit the notification bell icon, share it with a friend, leave me a comment. I do like comments. That's my favorite. I know all the other stuff's important, but I love comments. But do all that kind of stuff. I'm going to just reach back into my pocket here and grab some components and just do a minor burning hands hit again on him. Oh, burn the end of his foot off. That might not be a terrible thing. Burn off the ends of his feet. Okay, and when we come back in part 2, he will be painted up. Well, he won't be painted up. He'll be base coated, and we will paint him up. There's one more spider web I missed after all that fire. Who'd have thunk? All right. Go to the website, www.dungeonswag.com. There's a hyphen in the middle there. You can see the link in the description. Maybe buy some miniatures off us. Not these miniatures, like this that I've made, but real miniatures. Here's a Tiefling Warlock I've not yet painted. I've had down here for months that I need to paint. Those kind of miniatures. We have a bulk box that you get. It's like a loot crate. You get it every month. At the beginning of the month, it has heroes and villains and whatever else in it. But it basically, like this month is orcs. Next month will probably be like hobgoblins or something. I'm not sure yet. But every month you get stuff to fill out your tabletop. Heroes, villains, whatevs. Heroes is once a year, so you probably won't be getting those anytime until spring. But you can definitely fill out your collection. We also sell some one-offs on there. Join our Discord. The link's in the description. Show us what you've been making. Show what you craft. Even if it's not D&D related stuff, it's just stuff that you like to do. We're interested. I tell you what, man. There's a kid in there carving wood. There's someone making a sword. There's someone's made knives. There's people painting miniatures and doing all kinds of different stuff. Crocheting. We just like to see what people make. We like creativity. We like fun. We like people that are normal people living in a normal world, trying to make interesting things and being artistic. So come share with us, please. Also, somebody in the comments said they were going to show me their damn Displacer Beast they made from Dollar Tree parts, and I haven't seen you in there yet. So come show me your Displacer Beast. Thanks for watching.